Getting the cooling down treatment, Dave Loudon. Not up to NASA standards, but good enough for Snetterton, and he'll be carrying our in-car camera. Loudon starting from row 4 this time. And in the celebrity car, Lawrence Pierce. He's starting from the rear of the grid. Perhaps that's a safe place to be on the opening laps. CRX race from Snetterton. 15 laps, just under 30 miles. Red lights turn to green. Patrick Watts on the left in the pink car away. Andy Ackley in the middle. Steve Wardby, number 4 on the outside. Up toward Riches for the first time, and Steve Wardby's made a great start. Dives nearly into the lead, but Patrick Watts has the line into the corner. He gets there. There's Lawrence Pierce, car number 1. Round through Sear Corner, all the cars down onto the Revitt Straight, and it's Patrick Watts. Steve Wardby in second place, and Paul has moved up to third, ahead of his teammate Andy Ackley. Graham Churchill next through, and the rest of the field, Rick Shortling number 32, Bob Addison number 9. Out through Coram Curve. Watts, Wardby and Paul Taft in third place. Sweeping corners here, up towards the infamous Russell Bends. Patrick Watts leads through, Steve Wardby in second place, and Paul Taft diving right over the apex of the corner. Rob Hall behind him, Dave Loudon filling in about 6th place at the moment. Graham Churchill under pressure from Rob Hall, car number 26. We saw Hall have a successful run at Zandvoort in round 6. He's got to do a fair bit of work to catch up with the leaders who are down through the S's. Patrick Watts, Steve Wardby and Paul Taft holding third place. Under the Bailey Bridge, cars dip out of sight, down through the bomb hole. Come round Coram Bend. Patrick Watts not really in it for the championship. He only joined quite recently, returning to the series. Steve Wardby looking for a good result to take him past the championship leader. Paul Taft is holding on in third place at the moment. Watts driving aggressively across the start-finish line. Holding on in fourth place, car number 3, Andy Ackley. And here's Graham Churchill, car number 17, getting the better of Rob Hall. Hall crosses to the inside, looking for a way past at Sear Corner. Leaders back down at the S's, and Steve Wardby looked like he was having a go at Patrick Watts. Moving closer, Paul Taft in third place. Is this great scrap? Well, he wasn't able to get through, and now Dave Loudon right on the rear bumper of Rob Hall. In car with Dave Loudon, through the bomb hole, working away at the wheel, around through Coram Curve. And some spinners back at the S's. Lawrence Pierce in the celebrity car managing to avoid that, but number 22, Dennis Bunning, finding his way back onto the track. Patrick Watts being closely chased by Steve Wardby now, and Paul Taft has moved right up to join them. Three-way battle for the lead. And across the curb, Paul Taft, Andy Ackley following him. Wardby about to dive out of the slipstream, but can't find a way there as they come into Rich's corner. And Taft moving up, looks to the inside of Steve Wardby, can't find a way through. So the order has remained the same. Very close racing, but the order's the same. Now 29, Dave Carvel, an excursion for him at Rich's corner. Hasn't hit anything, so he'll be able to rejoin the race. Andy Ackley right on the rear bumper of his teammate, and that teammate Paul Taft looking for a way past Steve Wardby. Goes straight over the curb once again. And the black flag being held out to Paul Taft. The race officials not too happy with the continuing corner cutting, so they want to call him in for a little chat. Wardby really under pressure now. Out through Coram Curve once again, negotiated the S's. Andy Ackley's dropped off the pace a little bit. Doesn't look like he'll be able to challenge for a top 3 position. But Patrick Watts, Steve Wardby, Paul Taft, they are the top 3. Once again, Taft over the corner at Russell Bend. And there's the black flag calling Paul Taft in. Should stop racing, but he's continuing to do so, and he's got past Steve Wardby. Perhaps Wardby recognises it and is letting him get on with it, whilst trying not to damage his own position in the championship. Ackley through, still in 4th place. Now Patrick Watts, he's going to come under increasing pressure from Taft. Wardby dropped back to 3rd place. Giving a view on proceedings, and here's Taft right up onto the tail of Patrick Watts. Round through Coram Curve and up towards Russell, where all the excitement has taken place so far. Moves to the inside. Can't find a way there. Patrick Watts goes for the offending line. Paul Taft once again, and here's trouble. Keith Farrance in car number 35. That's the end of the race for him. Patrick Watts, Paul Taft right up close with him. And the heat here at Snetterton probably starting to affect the tyres, the brakes, and perhaps some of the drivers as well. Watts throwing the car round. Wardby in 3rd place, and Andy Ackley slipped away from this battle for the lead, still holding 4th place, ahead of Graham Churchill and Simon Sable moving up in the battle. The championship leader, Paul Taft, being hard pressed by Steve Wardby, and he wants to try and find a way past Patrick Watts. Brake lights come on for Watts, but it's too late. Car takes to the gravel, takes to the air, and takes to the side of Paul Taft's car. Taft spins, everybody runs for cover, but he doesn't hit anything. Rear boot lid has come open, new aerodynamic aid for Paul Taft's car. Patrick Watts looks too badly damaged to continue, car pulling off at the side of Rich's corner. Yes, that's the end of Patrick Watts. So the lead is now Steve Wardby, and Andy Ackley has joined him. In that melee, he's been able to close the gap up on the new leader, Steve Wardby. On the second last lap for these drivers, round through Coram Curve and up towards Russell. And there's Paul Taft, still spinning away, right into the middle of the corner. Rob Hall manages to avoid him. Taft spins the wheels. Graham Churchill about to come past in car 17. There he goes. And sure to incur the wrath of these stewards when he finds his way back to the pits, Paul Taft. So Andy Ackley in 2nd place. On to their last lap. There's the 3rd place man, Rob Hall. Now running out wide, Andy Ackley. That's cost him any chance of getting on terms with Steve Wardby. They go under the Bailey Bridge for the last time. Dip down through the bomb hole. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty comfortable win for Steve Wardby. Will do his championship chances no end of good this race. Slides the car round. Rob Hall still holding on in 3rd. In 2nd place, Andy Ackley. Circumspect line there by Wardby as he crosses the line to win round 8 of the Honda CRX Challenge from Snetterton. Certainly a controversial race, but it's put Steve Wardby into the lead of the championship over Paul Taft. What did Patrick Watts think about the situation?
I don't see why someone who's been black flagged for the last 8 laps should knock me off. We weren't even racing. He wasn't even eligible to race. He'd been black flagged for 10 laps. So what's the point in doing that? 2 into Russell doesn't go.
And it certainly didn't for Paul Taft and Patrick Watts. Pretty hot work for Steve Wardby, but he'd be pleased with that result, giving him a lead in the championship. And here are the final positions. Wardby, Ackley, Rob Hall, Graham Churchill. Paul Taft finished 5th but was disqualified, incurred a £200 fine and a licence endorsement. Simon Sable in 6th.